to your client's needs, even if they haven't expressed what those needs are. Okay, so that's why during that due diligence part, during that early phases when we're doing our initial review, that's why I tell you to go spend some time learning about that particular entity, learning about, even go if you can, if you are far enough ahead of the RFP deadline, go in, if it's a city like Riviera Beach, go back and watch some of the council meetings, see what they're talking about, see what is important to them. Okay, this way you can craft your bid in a way that speaks to their pain points. Okay, so gaining a deeper understanding of what your customer needs. This is just selling 101. All right, remember that your bid, when you're submitting to a bid, you are in fact selling to the government. The government is your client, so you need to understand everything you possibly can about that client, so that you can speak to what their needs are, or you can tailor your solution, your products, your service to their needs. Okay. Their objectives, again, their mission statement, and so on. I like to include my entity's mission statement and objectives in my bid in some way. I like to say that I recognize on your website that you guys, or the city of Riviera Beach considers itself the best place to live, work, and play. So then when I'm talking about my company, I'm going to talk about how we have this family environment and how all of our employees live less than 5 miles away from, these are things that allow you to differentiate yourself, okay? And so that's going to bring you to that next part. When you're talking about your solutions, many times the services or the products that you're offering are not that vastly different. The difference comes down into you as a person, your business, how you guys go about doing things, your particular spin on what it is that you're going to be offering. The other thing I tell people is, if you understand what your company or what your client's pain points are, now you can even add in some things that may be value adds that are not a part of what you're looking to get paid for, but ways that you're able to give back to that particular entity. I'll give you an example of what that looks like. When I used to work for an environmental engineering firm, we used to submit bids for to design and build water and wastewater treatment centers, or we would bid on monitoring the pollution of the water from a trash dump site. And so whenever we would put out a contract, we would always have a section in our bid that was a value add to that municipality. And what we would do, our particular forte was, whenever we got a contract, we would go into that particular community, identify 5 to 10 individuals who did not go to college, put them through a 6 to 7 day training program, give them industry level credentials, and then help them find jobs. We didn't ask for a dime to do that. That was something that we did because that's how we did business as a business. And so I want you to make sure that you are looking at, and I'm not saying you overextend yourself. I'm not saying get into the business of doing something that is not what your business does. But what I am saying is, the better you understand what the needs are of your actual client, the municipality, now you can look at ways to add value even beyond what it is that you do as a business, okay? And then when you are pulling together your bid, break it down section by section, okay? Break it out. Even have, I've had times where I'll create a Google Drive folder for a particular RFP. And then in that RFP, I might have a folder for executive summary. I might have a folder for scope of work. I might have a folder for letters of recommendation. So breaking it down so that it doesn't, the old African proverb, best way to eat an elephant is one bite at a time. So I encourage you, as you go through this, break it down section by section so that you're able to, make sure that you're consuming the entire elephant. Go to the next slide. All right. Now, before we get to questions, I'll say a little bit about what's going on in the city. As you guys may or may not know, again, if you're a part of BidNet and you're already following us on the BidNet, then you can find out whenever we release new RFPs as a city. But what I want you guys to be thinking about, even going beyond just BidNet, is also be thinking about the fact that Riviera Beach has, I think, over $1 billion worth of development projects that are happening right now that are either shovels in the ground or shovels are going in the ground very soon. I encourage you guys to go find out the developers for each one of these, especially if you have a business that has the ability to provide a service to a development. So if you are a builder, and you have a building business, or maybe you have a janitorial business, or whatever the case may be, look at how you can serve those projects as well. Because that also, while you may not be directly doing business with the city of Riviera Beach, you're still getting the government funding that comes with it, if that makes sense.
Just one quick moment. Mayor has his hand up.
Oh, the mayor does. Well, I'm not answering his questions.
Go ahead, Mayor Lawson.
I was going to wait till he was done so I could comment on just a few of the things he stated and give some insight and accolades to what he's actually doing. Hopefully he didn't hear all the praise I gave him before he tuned in.
I heard none of it.
Excellent. Excellent. We'll keep it there. But our goal is, number one, and one of the things that's most important. Hold on one second. And one of the most important things is just identifying and realizing that you want to have people and not be the brightest or smartest or most intelligent person in the room. I had to make sure that I found somebody that was a higher level in regards to government processing, in regards to RFPs, in regards to engagement. And I went and found the brightest and the best in the industry. So that's why I brought him in as my chief of staff to partner with me, to associate with me. So every one of your businesses, make sure that you're finding and building out a team of people that can help benefit you. Use these resources, because this information that Mr. Range gave tonight was gold, and I'm honored that he works for the city of Riviera Beach, because every single one of you have an amazing opportunity to benefit from the insight and information that's free of charge. This is information that you guys just have to log in, register for, and that's being given out on a consistent basis. So when they say that the information is not available or not out there, that's not true. We have it available free and ready for you at your dispense. Everything that Mr. Range talked about is exactly how you can access $220 million of spending through the city of Riviera Beach. So simply understanding that's just 8 square miles. That's not to mention Lake Park, Mangonia Park, North Palm, West Palm, Wellington. In addition to the county and the school board, who have $6 and $9 billion budgets as well.
And the Port of Palm Beach.
So all of that within just our 8 square miles is affiliated and associated with Riviera Beach. So again, like I said, Mr. Range, I just found out he was actually speaking tonight, so I had to come in and introduce him and give greetings and just thank him for the work that he's doing. And that's the only thing I wanted to say, Ms. Pamela. So thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor. Eric, I actually have a question right now. Can you tell us about the upcoming procurement conference that you've referenced in the past? What's the status there?
Absolutely. So the procurement conference is actually going to be the 30th and 31st of this month. We definitely encourage you all to register for that. I got an email just earlier today. It may already be live on the city's website for you to be able to register. This is part of both the mayor and I sitting down and understanding that the way that we are going to get our small businesses involved with doing serious business with the city is making sure that they understand just exactly how to do that. And so from a mindset standpoint, we have Dr. Franklin Lee, Attorney Franklin Lee, who did the disparity study up in I think it was either for West Palm or for the county, but has helped to shape programs at the municipal level that prioritizes working with small businesses and minority businesses. There's no secret that across the country, and especially here in Florida, there's an all-out warfare against DEI. The mayor and I believe very similarly on this. That's the current regime, and we just have to learn how to work through it. But I do not believe for one second that DEI is dead. There are too many people who understand, who see, and there's been too much research that shows that whenever we have diversity within business, within communities, within industry, those industries, those businesses, those communities thrive, and there's no real way to refute that evidence. And so I do think that what we're seeing is temporary, and we will have a better future when it comes to DEI as things change. And so this conference is really to help get our both, and it's two parts. One day is for the community, like you guys, business owners who want to do business with the city. We're going to have Franklin Lee talk about procurement and diversity. We're going to have the city manager talk about all of the different projects that are going on in the city. Our procurement director is going to give a presentation as well, in-depth presentation there. We have a panel discussion, and including some folks from the small business development community, from other municipalities, commissioners who will be on that, the mayor. So we have quite a bit. And day two is actually for us internally as a municipality to continue spreading this message, because this isn't, both things have to happen at the same time. You know, we're trying to change the culture here in Riviera Beach. And so that means educating the community as well as educating our staff to be prepared for that. So yeah, that's what that is. The conference, again, will be at the marina. You can go onto the website, I believe. If not today, I'm sure by the end of the week, you should be able to go on and register for that. I'll also tell you about the Black Wall Street event that is going on. I don't know if you guys have paid attention or know, but you know, Palm Beach County and West Palm is kind of dubbing itself as the Wall Street South, if you will, and being that Riviera Beach is the one of the minority majority populations in Palm Beach County, we're kind of stepping up and claiming that title as Black Wall Street South. And I know Dr. Collymore is on as well. And so there's going to be, I think, I see the link dropping in the chat right now. So yeah, you guys go register for that as well. That's going to be another amazing event. This is hosted by Dr. Collymore and the Diplomat Center in partnership with the city. And we have Hannibal Johnson, who is the country's foremost authority on the Black Wall Street. Black Wall Street will be there to speak, as well as y'all forgive me, it's late. Who else do we have?
Is that on your on the website?
John Hope Bryant. I think we have a flyer that is circulating on our website and on our events page, but yeah.
I think it's also on the Black Chamber site.
So that is also going to be another powerful event. And again, as we said, we're trying to change the culture here. So it's not just what the city is doing, but it's what the community is doing to make sure that, you know, we develop our small business owners and businesses to be able to take advantage of all of the growth that Riviera Beach is having.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much, Eric. This is amazing. Thank you so much for giving us such a comprehensive education and information. And I encourage all of our fellow entrepreneurs here, please do make note of these dates. Go online and register. You have to show up at these events to make a difference. And, and they're happening in a plentiful way. So just keep doing what you're doing. It's one thing to know the brass tacks and how you do things, but another thing is to network at the right events. So we look forward to that. Thank you so much, Eric. You've been very, very comprehensive in your delivery. And are there any questions for Mr. Range before we move on? We have lots of people. We have lots of things in the chat, but I'm sure Rosalind will let us know if there are any additional questions.
Yeah, I was skimming the chat myself to see.
I dropped most of the links to what you mentioned, Mr. Range, about the conference, also some of the resources about learning what the city is at, the mayor's office, and his contact information. This is a great opportunity to be in front of a decision maker. Everyone, we got 60 people on this call right now.
I know, this is amazing.
Bravo for you guys who are on the call. Bravo.
Let's keep it going. Absolutely. Just to underscore a few points that Mr. Range just made. Next Tuesday night, we will have the Director of Procurement, Miss Latanya Amons, who's going to deep dive into, she's, frontline. She's the procurement director, so she sees, what great responses look like, what great proposals look like, and she sees where there may be some opportunities for improvement, and she's going to roll up the sleeves and give us some real talk and give us a couple of things in preparation for us starting to develop some RFP responses in session 3. So definitely want to see all 61 of you plus here next week to continue the conversation.
I just saw a question in the chat about what RFPs to. Okay, we got a couple questions coming in. What RFPs do you suggest we review to study? What kind of business do you have, Kathy? If you could drop that in the chat real quick. But while she's dropping that in the chat, let me give you guys another little cheat code, right? Whenever you're doing business with the government, everything is public information. Meaning, if there's a contract that a city has that you want, or the state has, or even the federal government, right? You can request that information. So again, let's say you have a